It is starting! The adventure is starting! I don't usually do an airplane vlog because I feel like all I do is sleep on the airplane, so there's not much for me to show. But I am going to be doing 2 back-to-back red-eye flights. Why? Because it takes forever to get anywhere from Hawaii. I planned this in a way that I will be able to at least take advantage of some of this layover time that I have, because I have to lay over somewhere in order to get to Iceland. So I decided to fly to Seattle to do my layover because my friend Tiffany, I don't know if you remember, but remember her wedding vlog, but she is based in Seattle, so I am going to go hang out with her for a little bit, document the whole journey to get to Iceland from Hawaii. Also, side note, traveling from a hot place to a really cold place is like such a struggle because I am literally in like flannel and also like long pants, and it's so hot. I'm like sweating like crazy, but I also know that it'll be cold on the plane, so I don't want to like underdress. It'll also be cold when I get to Seattle. I have a puffer in my backpack as well as a change of clothes, or more like base layers that I can add on when we get to Iceland, because I do not want to freeze my butt off. For those of you who didn't watch my last video on travel pillow reviews or my stories, which shame on you, I decided to test out a few new products to see if they will make for a better flying experience, since I was doing some long haul flights this trip. Stay tuned for the reviews later on in this video. I have arrived in Seattle, and there's some crazy stuff that I need to tell you guys about my global entry, but not right now because I'm gonna go out and see my friends. I am currently at the SeaTac airport. I'm at the Priority Lounge. I got me some soup. As I had promised earlier, story time. When I was going to the airport last night, I guess, because it is now like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was looking at my boarding pass and I realized that I didn't have my pre-check symbol on the boarding pass. I took the check-in counter to ask the agent, you know, if she could double check that I enter my known traveler ID, and she was like, oh, I see a number in here. It's weird that it's not populating the pre-check symbol, and she didn't have an answer for me, and I was like, it's okay, I'll just go through regular security line. She was like, yeah, there's no line anyways, so it'll be fast. So after I went through that whole ordeal, got in, I was looking it up, trying to figure out why my pre-TSA wasn't working, and then I realized it's because my global entry expired. Yay! It's like 5 years, right, for global entry, and I like kind of just like forgot that 5 years has passed. It expired literally 2 weeks ago on my birthday. Yay me. I applied for renewal. I'm hoping, manifesting this, I'm hoping that the renewal process will be fairly quick. Unfortunately, I did not realize that my global entry was going to expire, because if I had remembered that, if I had renewed my application any time of the year before my expiration date, so any time in this past year basically, I would have had a grace period of 2 years where my global entry would still be active while they went through the reviewing and approval process of my renewal. So for those of you who do have global entry, make sure you set a calendar reminder for yourself in 4 years. Apply for that renewal so you don't have to go through my chaos here and stressfulness. So yeah, I slept through the whole flight, and then once I got off the flight, I like quickly put in my application for renewal, and then I got my bag and met up with my friend Tiffany. We had brunch. I saw her new place. Just kind of caught up. I haven't seen her since I think July, but even during July when we did meet up, it was very hectic. There was a lot of people. It's always how it is when you're like meeting a group of friends versus one-on-one. You don't really get to talk as much. So it was nice to kind of just catch up and like see what's been happening in her life. Now I am at SeaTac. The process was actually really quick. I thought that it would be super hectic, because the last time that I was here, it was so busy. So without pre-TSA, we didn't know what the boarding process was like. I used the My TSA app to check the wait time, but then we never used it before, so I wasn't sure I trusted it. It said 15 minutes at the time, and I was like, that doesn't sound like what I experienced before. So we got here 2 hours before my flight, and I did end up getting through security really quickly. I had to check in my bag with Icelandair. I went to the counter to check their bag sizer. My bag was just like a tad too big because there was no line. The lady at the check-in counter was like, do you want me to check that in for you? Thankfully, my flight ticket did come with a free check-in. I have an hour to spare now, so I'm at the lounge. There's soup. Ready for my flight to Iceland and then start my journey, even though 30 feels like a day and a half, which it kind of has been, but that is the plan. Lounge, eat, and then go on the plane. And then next time I see you, well, the next time I'll probably show you my plane setup a little bit better. Yeah, I will eat now. Some of you have wanted an update on my thoughts on the Cabeau pillow since my last video, and let me just say, this was definitely worth the money. I was honestly a bit disappointed in this after my first flight because it didn't feel as secure on the plane than when I tested it out at home. I realized though that was because I didn't install it correctly on that first flight, so it didn't feel as secure. Basically, instead of using the Velcro to secure it to the headrest, you want to thread the entire elastic over the headrest and use the Velcro to tighten the elastic. When properly installed, the pillow is really supportive and I didn't experience any neck pain at all. The eye mask is also a great addition if you really want to get a long stretch of sleep in. This one also has an eye massager, which is a nice perk, but the biggest benefit was the blackout feature. Plus, the eye mask has eye contours, so there's no pressure on the eye itself. In case you didn't know, you have to pay for food on Icelandair, so I bought a bread with me from 85 Degrees as my meal. Also, I don't know why, but tomato juice is my go-to drink when on flights. Is that weird? Anyways, another flying tip that I forgot to show is, you know how they give you a pillow and blanket on long flights? I use the pillow as a butt cushion and it makes sleeping while sitting so much more comfortable. We're in Iceland! Surprisingly, the custom process was really fast. The line looked really long, but it took me like 15 minutes to get through. All the luggage had already arrived by the time that we got through customs, which was very efficient. The whole like off the plane to outside like duration was real short. I'm waiting for my friends Grace and Kevin. They went to get the car because they arrived earlier than me. We'll start our Iceland adventure. I hope you had fun with me on this 24-hour travel journey. More adventures to come for sure, so stay tuned. Bye! See you next time! Oh my god, it's so cold. It's like 45 degrees and I'm so cold. I don't know how I'm gonna survive Iceland.